If you want all of your data in one place, if you want a single home for all of your entities, if you want to spend more time working and less time searching, you need the Intuit ERP. I know because I'm Damon John and I run my growing business on Intuit Enterprise Suite, the AI native ERP that's powerful, painless, and proven. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
Honey, what are you listening to?
Mom!
Your teen might not share everything with you, but teens share everything with each other. And certain everyday behaviors, like sharing food, drinks, or kisses, could mean sharing bacteria that can cause meningococcal disease, known as meningitis. Although meningitis is uncommon, about 1 in 10 who develop it will die. Ask your teen's doctor about missing meningitis vaccinations. Learn more at meningitis.com. Vaccination may not protect all recipients. Sponsored by GSK.
Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe, such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kodojo.
Welcome back. Acolytes? Is that what we decided on?
I think
Adepts.
so.
Adepts. That's what we said.
Adept.
Adepts. Welcome back, Adepts, to another episode of Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I am one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kodojo.
Hello there.
And we are here to bring you more of the AT-AT, but in the canon history. Fun fact, there's not a lot. There is not a lot. Because, Legends has a lot more in-depth of histories due to all the random Legends books they had and comics.
Yeah.
Sadly, we don't have a whole lot of that in canon at the moment. But, like, right now with the book-wise, it's, they're mainly focused on the High Republic. So, yeah. So, just like in the Legends, the All-Terrain Armored Transport, or the AT-AT, was a four-legged combat walker of the all-terrain vehicle line used by the ground forces of the Galactic Empire and the First Order. Along with the Imperial-class Star Destroyers, Stormtroopers, and the TIE Fighter, it was one of the most famous symbols of the Empire's military might.
Yes. Giant camel walking vehicle.
Yeah, a giant four-legged beast of a machine that basically, when you see it on the battlefield, God forbid you survive.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was in Rogue One where they went to the tropical world there, beach world.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they were using the AT-ATs as like cargo lifts or transportations or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wait a second, you have all these rail systems. Why do you need these?
Why are you using the slowest form of transport when you have a rail system?
What's going on?
Yeah. Oh no, OBS is
Not to mention,
dumb
I think
again.
those look like the weakest models you could ever have. Because their side doors are open. If just one rocket that one of the rebels used on the head instead hit in the middle, that thing would have gone down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Would have gone down. It's like, now let's use it on the hardest part of that type of walker, the head.
Let's see if that works. But yeah. So moving on, we do have the different models of the AT-AT. First off, we do have an early model. This model was used against the early rebellion. This variant featured two heavy laser cannon turrets, 4 anti-personnel blasters, and a dorsal twin laser turret in the rear. Which...
What model was this?
Right? I'm curious of that myself, because none of that seems familiar, unless this was like in Rebels.
Maybe, but I don't remember seeing that at all.
Yeah, me neither. I don't remember the early model of the AT-AT. Here, let me see if I can pull it up.
I mean, during what was that series called? Clone Force 99 Bad Batch. That
Bad
was it.
Batch.
That might have been the earliest you might see an AT-AT because it takes place right after the Clone Wars. And
True.
even that I don't remember.
So the prototype. Okay, here we are. We have the AT-AT prototype. This is the early AT-AT, early model. So we see this in Star Wars Rebels, Relics of the Old. Also appeared in Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor.
Really? Huh. I remember one AT-AT in Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, I don't remember Jedi Survivor. There wasn't very any. It's mainly Jedi Fallen Order. Is because
Yeah.
we pilot one as Cal. So yeah, very interesting.
I'm looking at a picture of an early Empire AT-AT, and the twin-tailed rear gunner is literally placed on top of the thing. Not on its very rear, but on top of it, facing backwards. How is that
Facing
practical?
backwards. Oh, isn't that how Cal got into the walker itself?
I thought you just like cut a hole at some point or use an access hatch.
Oh, this is making me want to replay it. Man. Alright. Well, anyway, now we have the later model. So the model was used during the Galactic Civil War. This variant was shorter than the earlier model and featured dual Piper Selim R90C medium blasters located on the sides or temples, and a pair of TAM and back MS-1 fire linked heavy laser cannons mounted on the chin. So this is the one that we know of, that we see in like the
Hoth.
original trilogy and all that.
Yeah, and probably Rebels.
Yes, I think so. Let me go, because this one is specifically the Galactic Civil War. If you go to the wiki, if I'm clicking on things correctly. So yeah, we do see this one. In Star Wars Rebels Empire Day, appears in a hologram. So we don't physically see it on screen. It was mainly in the like the original trilogy stuff.
Oh, okay.
Looking more into it. Yeah, it's mainly the original trilogy. So,
okay.
And comics.
Yeah.
Because comics. And in Battlefront 2.
Which one?
Well, both technically.
Yeah.
Because the original Battlefront 2 obviously had this version. Moving on, we do have the Elite AT-AT. So this is a modified version of the Galactic Civil War AT-AT. The variant featured among other things, thicker and darker armor, heavier laser cannons, and an elite crew of pilots.
Okay.
It's literally a jet black.
It's just
AT-AT. That's all it is.
It's just bigger, darker plate armor and just an experienced
You want to take a wild
crew.
guess where this was introduced into the canon?
Off.
Nope.
Really?
Nope. First appearance and only appearance, Star Wars Commander.
What?
It
must have been on the Empire
tactic
side.
mobile game. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is where this is from.
Must have been an Empire side.
Yeah, so.
'Cause I don't remember that.
And then the last variant we do have is the First Order AT-AT. And this is just an updated version of the AT-AT used by the First Order, which, go watch the sequel trilogy.
If you dare.
Hey, it's just literally an updated version of the AT-AT. That's all it is. I think it's a bit faster.
I think you only see it like once during the second movie.
We see it during Last Jedi, which is the second one, which is where it first appeared. And then we do see it at, we see them on Galaxy's Edge, Rise of the Resistance ride. So there's that.
Yeah.
Apparently that's in Star Wars Resistance episode The Escape, which I haven't watched Resistance personally. So...
Oh, right, that's the cartoon.
Yeah, it was the animated one specifically with like BB-8. It was a different animation style, and I think that's why
it was definitely more for kids.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So, like the First Order All-Terrain Armored Transport (AT-AT) was a model of the all-terrain armored transport walker manufactured by Kuwait Intrala Drive Yards and fielded by the First Order. The design was reminiscent of the AT-AT by the Galactic Empire during the Galactic Civil War. 2 First Order AT-ATs were deployed along with the larger all-terrain Mega Caliber 6 during the Battle of Crate. The Walker featured increased armor and boarding ramp under its chin in place of the heavy laser cannons. Instead, its primary weapons are mounted on the sides of its head. So it's a little bit different. Nothing. It
doesn't surprise me. First Order has AT-ATs because in the books leading up to the Battle of Jakku, there are like hundreds of starships and Imperial assets just hiding out in some nebula, waiting to go into the unknown region.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And supposedly there were 12 Super Star Destroyers.
Well, that's terrifying.
And like one of them was destroyed with the second Death Star. Yeah, and there was another one destroyed over Battle of Jakku. That still leaves 10 that were unaccounted for.
Right, which is...
even in the sequels.
Whew. So now we are moving into the history that we have of Canon. So at the age of the Empire, so the AT-AT Walker was developed during the Clone Wars and was used in the Imperial Army, the ground forces of the Galactic Empire. It was the successor of the all-terrain Tactical Enforcer that also saw use during the Clone Wars, although it consisted of far more imposing example of Walker technology. Heavier armored and all-inducing, the AT-AT positioned itself as the standard of Imperial firepower on the battlefield.
Now,
yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because...
here's the thing. Heavier armored, okay, that's fine, but you have it so much higher center of point that it's going to screw it up. That's why the tow cables were so effective.
Yeah, and the thing also, I believe, in my opinion, the all-terrain Tactical Enforcer, the AT-TE...
sounds so much better.
Sounds better. 2, I feel like it's, like, much more devastating because you have so many different weapons on it.
Oh, yeah, and I think it carries more people than the AT-AT.
So the crew is 1 pilot, 1 co-pilot / spotter, 1 vehicle commander, and 5 gunners. So yeah, you already have more people than an AT-AT. Its armaments are a MAAD-21 heavy laser cannon turrets, which it has 6 of them, and it has a Firefont 04 mass driver cannon, which is a giant cannon on its top of its hull. So you have 5 giant laser cannons all around you have 6 laser cannon turrets.
Yep.
All around its body, on top of a giant gun on the top of its body.
Yep. That was omnidirectional.
And it was, and also it's omnidirectional too. So, the AT-TE is better. Just saying. I don't know about you, but Clone Wars stuff was better. Hey, Rex says it himself in Star Wars Rebels. When he was disguising himself as a stormtrooper, they actually had a lore reason why the stormtroopers always miss their shots, and it's like he was like looking through a stormtrooper helmet, and it's like, I can't see anything in this. Like takes off the
and
helmet,
throws it.
chucks it, and then starts hitting the mark every single time. It's like, this stormtrooper crap is too cheap. And I was like, yep. All right, there it is. That's what I'm going to use. The Empire is just complete or cheapskates on when they make any of their armor and weapons. Got it. So, moving on with the Canon. So, many AT-ATs were built in the factories of the planet of Balmora. In 14 BBY, the Empire used AT-ATs against the partisans led by Saw Gerrera on Kashyyyk during the attack of the Imperial Refinery. During the battle, the Jedi Padawan Cal Kestis stole an AT-AT and used it to provide aid to partisans. Kestis used the Walker's firepower to eliminate most of the Imperial troops, but the AT-AT ended up falling. Yes.
Yep, because it's big and clumsy.
Big, clumsy, Cal can't pilot anything to worth anything at all.
No.
Yeah, this scene in the game was awesome, especially
it was fun.
The scene right before it when you jump out of the what's their ship? Mantis.
Oh,
right
the
when
Mantis,
you jump, right before you jump out the Mantis. Oh God, I'm forgetting names left and right now. What's the 4-armed character?
Oh
God. He's part of the Mantis crew, and I can't remember.
Oh no!
I know this is. I remember Marin.
Grez, Durtz. Yeah, I can't say.
Yeah, Grez. Grease. Whatever you want to say his name, I can't remember. But he's like, he starts laughing at Sears, and he thinks this is the Clone Wars, and literally just jumps out the Mantis. And it's like, yes, this is exactly what this is. This is the Clone Wars. I don't care what people say. Oh, it's great. But yeah, that was a great scene. I really liked it because you climbed up the walker, you took out the rear gunner, then went into the walker, took out the 2 pilots, and then proceeded taking out the other walker that's in front of you, and then start taking down stormtroopers left and right when you're on Kashyyyk.
Yeah,
it was great.
It was fun. I think it was ATST you used in Battlefront 2. The new version.
Yeah, that's an ATSC.
Although you do get into the head of an AT-AT, same level, but you don't use it. Really.
Correct. And if you ever were able to use it, it was like a power-up kind of a thing.
Yeah.
To be in a gunner. At least the first Battlefront allowed you to do that.
I like the new first Battlefront more than the second new Battlefront.
Really? I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the 2018 Battlefront 2 over the 2015 Battlefront.
I prefer the 2015 one. I think it was more balanced than.
I liked my clones. I was able to be a clone again. That's why I liked and there was a campaign, so there was that too.
Well,
because we actually get to experience the Battle of Jakku.
But that campaign was so bad though. Half the levels you had to play as a hero.
So?
You had to play as a hero.
You always played as a hero in the campaign. You played as either as Iden or Luke.
Well, no. Iden is the character. She wasn't the hero. She was the character.
Hero. She's a hero in the rosters.
Yeah, and then you're forced to play Luke, then Leia. Then Lando Calrissian, and then Han Solo.
Oh, yep.
I mean, half the game you have to play as heroes.
And what's wrong with that?
I don't know. It's
nothing. Moving on. Let's take a quick mid-break. Thank our patrons, and we'll be right back.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, Zero tiers. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
All right. Well, now we're in the middle of the show. We're talking about everything on the podcast. That has nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. I almost said a different show because I would do way too many. Here we want to thank all our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And if you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/the Star Wars Canon or Holocron Histories, patreon.com/Holocron Histories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself of your topic of your choosing. You can also support us on Apple and Spotify. Leave 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment. We're read it out loud next time on the show, which we don't have any today, but that's okay. That happens. And then you can also find us on a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. So go check those out. All fun stuff on Robots Radio. And you can also find us live on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Ben of Temeria every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and where you can join us live in the chat if my OBS is working with Twitch, because for some reason my OBS and Twitch don't like each other. But if you catch us live, you can, be in our live comments and ask us questions as we're going through the show, and it adds a lot more. It's a lot more fun that way. So, do you have anything to add, Dojo?
No, nothing to add this week, I think.
Okay, cool. Well, that being said, let's get back into more of the canon of the AT-AT. All right, so now we are moving into the Galactic Civil War, which is, we primarily see the AT-AT because that's where we first introduced. So, in 4 BBY, the Imperial Security Bureau, Agent Callus, led 3 early AT-AT walkers on an assault on the desert planet of Selos against the Spectres and 3 retired clone officers aboard an AT-TE. Could you guess what a won?
Yeah, well, technically, I think the AT-ATs eventually won this fight.
Yeah, there's 3
but not
against
before
1.
taking out, 2 of the 3 completely and heavily damaging the 3rd one.
Yeah, it shows Clone War stuff is better. And also helps that you have a Jedi with a clone, which, is always a good combo.
Oh, yeah.
So, in 3 BBY, the AT-ATs were again used against the Spectres when Princess Leia Organa arrived on the planet to give the Ghost crew 3 Cifrin class Hammerhead corvettes. So these are Hammerheads. 2 walkers were deployed to patrol the transport's landing platform, which were formerly on Lothal to offer supplies to citizens impacted by the rebel efforts. When the rebels tried to steal the corvettes, the Ghost started firing on the AT-ATs. 4 proton torpedoes were not powerful enough to destroy one of the walkers, and it was necessary for Kanan Jarrus to use his lightsaber to cut its legs, toppling it. The second one was knocked down by the engines of the last Hammerhead, piloted by Ryder Asdi.
Yeah.
So, proton torpedoes are not strong enough to take down a walker.
Which kind of seems weird because proton torpedoes have been known to do significant damage to Star Destroyers. When the shields are down?
When shields are down, yes.
Yeah, when the shields are down. And these things don't have shields, so I'm kind of worried that, that's a little discrepancy there.
Possibly. Who knows? Go on.
And then you just got Canon coming up, cutting off 2 legs of a walker.
Because he's a Jedi with a lightsaber that can cut through basically almost anything. Yeah.
And he kind of cut through that too quickly as well. in
Oh
my
no,
opinion.
he quickly cut through it, and I was like,
That
what?
should have taken longer.
A lightsaber has a hard time getting through a blast door, let
Yeah,
alone an
like
AT-AT legs.
yeah. I mean,
Unless
it
the
would
legs are like paper thin compared to a blast door, which they might be.
maybe he cut through a joint or something.
I can't
I
remember.
can't remember. It's been so long.
Right. So in 2BBY, Lieutenant Yoger List deployed two AT-AT walkers, Walker 271 and Walker 414, to combat an attack on the East Gate of the Imperial Armory Complex by members of the Lethal Resistance Group led by Ryder Azadi. The rebels Canon, Ezra Bridger, and Chopper escape in the stolen ATDP Walker 216. However, Grand Admiral Thrawn realized that the rebels had hijacked the ATDP Walker and ordered the ATs to crush them. One of the AT-AT Walkers proceeded to crush the ATDP under its heavy body, but the rebels managed to use their lightsabers to cut their way aboard. Morad Sumar also fired a rocket which hit one of the walker's legs. After knocking out the AT-AT pilots, the two climbed out of the escape with Ryder's cell into the wilderness.
Now, it might have been this fight. Could have been an earlier one. But Vader was on Lothal to cut down the resistance group. Could have been
this
earlier.
was not. This was after the whole Vader thing, because this was Thrawn. Thrawn was the season after Vader.
Okay. So, sort of rewinding for a year back, they drop an AT-AT on Vader to try to kill him. And it's like, okay, that did the trick. Start turning around, all of a sudden hear a creaking noise. You can just see Vader.
That was when they first introduced Vader. Like when they first showed him off. That was like episode 2 of season 2.
Season 2, yeah. He just lifts up the AT-AT like it was nothing.
Like,
and both Kanan and Eris is like, oh no, we gotta get out. Gotta get out. Gotta get out.
Well, they already had the warnings from Vader's, like, freaking freezing aura in the forest. They felt so cold and, desolate. So Thrawn then deployed 4 of these during the battle on Attilan. Jedi survivor Kanan Jarrus then destroyed one with his lightsaber. The Bendu then destroyed 2 of the AT-AT walkers. However, the last one shot Bendu down from the sky.
Yeah.
So around the time of the Battle of Yavin, a new AT-AT model was introduced. At this time, the Alliance to Restore the Republic stole a number of AT-ATs and provided them to Sabzana's gang.
Okay, I don't remember this.
This
is
the
Star Wars Commander mobile game.
I was gonna say, I'm looking at Sabana's game. I was like, oh, this is the Tatooine Rebel Cell. Like, oh, that makes sense. During the Rebel assault on the Imperial Weapons Factory moon of Simoon 1, a group of rebels led by Han Solo and Leia Organa stole an AT-AT from Weapons Factory Alpha. They used the walker to escape from the factory after they sabotaged its main power core to explode. During their escape, Solo fired a shot that nearly killed the Sith Lord Darth Vader, using all the AT-AT's powerful armaments. Soon after, Vader managed to overtake the rebels in their escape and cut down the massive walker's back left leg. The AT-AT fell tremendously, and its passengers barely escaped the wreckage before fleeing Simoon 1 entirely for the safety of the Alliance fleet.
Now, I think this was, I want to say Star Wars comic issue number 1 or 2 that this happened.
This
it's like the 2020.
Here, let me see. I can check that real quick.
Or it could be 2018.
This was Star Wars 2015 issue number 1.
Oh, 2015.
This is the when shortly after Disney took over.
Yeah, so this takes place between A New Hope and
Empire
Strikes Back, yeah.
Mm-hmm. During the Battle of Hoth, General Maximilian Veers led a squadron of at least 5 AT-ATs on the icy fields of Hoth to knock down the shield generator that protected Echo Base, the rebel headquarters. The triumph of Veers' squadron allowed the Imperials to invade Echo Base and rout the rebels, striking a major blow in the war. However, the battle was also revealed that the AT-ATs could be toppled by a cable wrapped around their legs, although that weakness has been used effectively by the Alliance on Hoth. The Empire continued to use these mechanical behemoths in the later stages of the war. Obviously, this is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. And yeah, it surprises me they didn't figure this out sooner. That you can wrap
Right.
around the legs.
Well, they probably didn't think anybody was dumb enough to, fight the Empire. So that and they're in the Empire's perspective, when they're thinking, oh, we're this all-powerful thing, we're going to make these awesome weapons, they weren't thinking anybody was going to fight against them that could actually, be a significant threat.
Yeah, well.
So there's that.
Hubris.
Exactly.
Hubris of it all.
So several AT-ATs were deployed by Admiral Calaxo during the Battle of Abdalis. A number of AT-ATs marched as part of the Imperial Unity Day Parade on the planet of Bartheth in the Core Worlds, where the Empire was caught by surprise by a rebel attack. Caught totally off guard, all AT-ATs and other mechanical marchers were destroyed by the time the rebels withdrew an attack that was transmitted to the entire galaxy, providing the rebellion had survived the Battle of Hoth. During the occupation of Endor, at least one AT-AT was present on Endor prior to the Battle of Endor, which we see that in the background of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I think there's two, actually. There's one already at the platform, and then there's another one carrying Luke that just got to the platform.
Yes.
I think there were two.
I think you're right. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah.
And then shortly after the Battle of Endor, AT-ATs were present at the Battle of Kawa City, and the rogue agents of Inferno Squad, Iden Versio and Del Mico, used an AT-AT in order to escape Vardos during Operation Cinder. In 5 ABY, at least one AT-AT walker was stationed at Camp Sardo on the planet of Kashyyyk. During the liberation of Kashyyyk, several Wookiee guerrilla fighters, including Karatha, hijacked the AT-AT walker and threw out the crew. Later, AT-ATs were deployed against the New Republic forces during the Battle of Jakku. Which all of this is within Star Wars Battlefront 2, the campaign of Battlefront 2.
Yeah. And there's actually a mission where you go to Jakku, you go to the surface, and you have to help out two sort of battle points, as it were, I guess. One, you have to stop a series of bomber, and the other one, you have to go and help a regiment of rebel troopers who are facing two AT-ATs. You have to call down an orbital strike on them.
Yep.
Which kind of makes it fun. It's like, hee, you're dead.
Right. You're
dead. Wait a second, why can't I use these anymore?
This is why I like the Battlefront 2 campaign, is because you got to do a lot of cool stuff. That, and it was all through a perspective of a standard trooper who's not able to use the Force. I really
nice.
like the stories that you play as someone who's not a Jedi, because you're not all powerful and you're not all powerful, so you actually have to think tactically, compared to a Jedi where you can go run guns a-blazing into a fight and not have to get killed in one shot.
Yeah, but I would have liked it more if they did more bigger battles instead of secret missions, as it were.
Yeah, okay. Less skirmishes, more giant actual warfare.
Battles. Yeah.
Fair. I mean, if we get that, it's probably not going to be set during the Skywalker saga.
I hope not.
Because we've already seen all the battles.
Bring back the Old Republic.
Old Republic. Yeah. You know what we want, Disney. You know what we want.
They won't give it to us.
No, they won't. They keep dangling here it is. Mm-hmm. Anyway, now we are to the First Order. So, decades after the war, a young scavenger named Ray used one of the downed AT-ATs, designated Hellhound 2, as her home on Jakku.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
what
I
she
think
did.
there's a visual dictionary of her
Yep, there
her
is. It's part
setup
of
in there.
the visual dictionary novel or whatever thing. Yeah. And then the First Order used an updated version of the AT-AT in its army branch. The Walkers are deployed under the command of Kylo Ren, the Master of the Knights of Ren and grandson of Darth Vader, during the First Order's brief struggle against the Bethany species. Later, during the Battle of Crate, these AT-ATs escorted the newer AT-M6. This model of AT-AT Walker was also stored aboard Commander Pryor's Resurgent-class Star Destroyer, though the warship was ultimately destroyed during the Battle of Barabesh.
The AT. Oh yeah, those are the weird gorilla
Yeah, it has the
feet
weird
ones.
gorilla arms in the front. They look like
Yeah, which
or like Rancor arms.
yeah, it's kind of where it's supposed to provide more stability or something.
Something like
I
that.
I could never understand those updated
I
front
think it's
legs.
the updated front legs are used better for rougher terrain if it's not flat.
I'm reading I'm reading the wiki description, also known as the Gorilla Walker.
Gorilla Walker.
I'm not joking.
Oh, that's great.
Mobile
Uh,
artillery, the biggest walker. Yeah, yeah. It's
so yeah,
what is it?
and then
Gorilla Walker.
we do have some behind the scenes in canon. So, the AT-ATs in The Empire Strikes Back and the brief appearance in Return of the Jedi were filmed via stop motion, which makes sense back in the day.
Yeah,
CG wasn't really a thing. So, it wasn't a
yeah,
thing, actually. It was just special effects back then.
yeah. They use like miniatures, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. And then
Still big.
oh, yeah, oh yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Initially, the Empire was attacked the rebel base on Hoth using tanks. Joe Johnson created many designs of these vehicles, one which was the basis of the HAVW A6 Juggernaut that appeared in Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, and the HAVW A5 Juggernaut in Star Wars Legends. And the tanks themselves were to be portrayed by remote-controlled vehicles. However, Dennis Muren and Joe Johnson convinced George Lucas to use stop motion instead, which eventually led to the abandonment of the tank design. In the DVD commentary to Empire Strikes Back, George Lucas explains that he got the idea of the AT-AT from the massive tripods from H.G. Wells' 1898 novel, The War of the Worlds, though it was popularly believed that the dock machinery was the inspiration of the AT-AT. Phil Trippett has said otherwise, recalling that it was based on the prehistoric mammal, Paracerathemum. Paracerathemum. It's all in Latin.
Yeah.
Gotta
Damn you
love
Latins.
dinosaurs and prehistoric animals. They're all freaking in Latin.
Supposedly a
It's
large
a
hornless rhinoceros.
yeah. Yep. And then the AT-ATs featured in Star Wars Rebels are different models from the ones in the Star Wars films, inspired by the early concept art drawn by Ralph McQuarrie during the production of The Empire Strikes Back. So
No, they didn't look that different, to tell you the truth.
they don't look too much different. No, that is true. That is very true. But they're different
Yeah,
enough.
and I want to say Ahsoka and the Mandalorian. You kind of see in the background sort of skeleton out um, frames of the AT-ATs, but they've been converted into cranes, mobile cranes.
Right. Yep.
And I guess, it's like, oh, well, we got all this extra part. What do we do with them? Well, make them into cranes, mobile cranes.
Right. Yep, and then obviously you can always find an AT-AT when you go to Disney World at Star Tours.
Yep.
It's in Hollywood Studios at Star Tours. There's still an AT-AT with the Ewok Village that they just do Star Tours in, which does get updates. I think it's going to get an update. I think this year or next year.
I think the last one was.
It was like a year or so ago they got an update, because when I went to Disney 2 years ago, and it was completely updated from the year I went previously.
Yeah,
because they added the Mando stuff.
The sequel. Oh, Mando, really?
Mm-hmm. They have Mando stuff in it now.
Haven't seen that yet.
They have the sequel stuff, but they recently added Mando into Star Tours, which is really, really cool. And then you can find the Rise of the Resistance. That ride has the AT-ATs as well for the First Order in the ride itself.
I haven't done that ride. Every time I go, it's like
fun.
A 4-hour wait. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
It's so much fun. It's great. I couldn't tell you how many times I've ridden the Smuggler's Run or Rise of the Resistance. I've definitely ridden Smuggler Run way more than the Rise of the Resistance, so.
Yeah.
I'm always co-pilot.
I think in Star Tours, you actually go to the Battle of Hoth.
So it changes now. You can get completely different versions of the experience every time you go in, because it's on a random selector of what scenes play out, which is really cool. No. So Battle of Hoth is one of them, or the Battle of Crate is another. There's space battles, obviously.
The Death Star over Geonosis. That's one of them.
Yes, I don't know if that's in the updated version, though. I haven't seen that one yet.
It used to be. And then you go to Naboo for another one.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff now is mainly sequel trilogy stuff. And then there's still some original trilogy as well. But there's also like a lot more Mando and like the Mandoverse stuff, which is nice.
Okay. Oh, we have to look that up.
So, like, there's one scene that actually had Boba Fett from, like, the Book of Boba Fett.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool. But anyway, that's all I have for this episode. So, anything else that you want to share for the AT-AT for Canon?
If I were to put an army together in the Star Wars universe, the AT-AT would not be in it.
No, it's going to be the ATTE.
That's my walker. That's my go-to walker.
That is the walker. I'm sorry. I don't care what people say. That's the walker. So, yeah, it's for piss. Go watch the Rebels episode when they first reintroduce Rex and Rebels. Watch those episodes because it shows you Clone War era weapons are a little bit significant better and more powerful than the AT-ATs.
Yeah.
So but with that being said, everybody, thank you again for listening to Holocron Histories, and may the Force be with you.
Thank you for listening to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Bennett Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic!
In the U.S., there's a break-in every 26 seconds. But when intruders step near, Simply Safe Home Security steps up.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Using AI alerts, U.S.-based live agents help deter break-ins. Simply Safe, no long-term contracts. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/Spotify or with promo code Spotify.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.